name is Julie Radwanski, and I am the Academic Services Coordinator here at the University of Toledo in Toledo, Ohio. We're a four-year public research institution serving approximately 13,000 undergraduate students and about 4,000 graduate students, but our learning center targets those undergraduate students. And we use Accudemia in a couple of ways. I'm going to give you some pictures to go off of. So here at the University of Toledo, as I mentioned, in the Learning Enhancement Center, we offer tutoring in areas like math, science, engineering, statistics, business courses for those undergraduate students. And we do that through both in-person and online. So if a student were to come in person, they would go to our front desk area where we have student staff and sign in using an Accudemia kiosk. We would gather the class that they're coming in for, the instructor, and the amount of time. And then we use that information for our annual reports. Faculty likes that they can access reporting to see what students are coming in, how long they're spending. Many of our math faculty in particular give extra credit for students who are using our services, especially for test corrections. And so they like that now that we have Accudemia, they can access those reports on their own. We were clients with AccuSQL Server up until 2020 when the pandemic hit and we needed something that we could access more online and from anywhere. And that's when we made the switch to Accudemia. And that was one of the bonuses of the switch is I no longer have to personally pull all these reports for faculty. They can do that themselves. The students also have access to online tutoring through our services, and that they access through our website. So I know Julio had asked a question about the difference between being able to sign in, and we do just what was suggested. We take our services, and one says Learning Enhancement Center, and one says Learning Enhancement Center Online. So if a student selects that online option, they only see the hours that are available for those online appointments. They won't see the in-person hours. So I have a picture there of our website where we can show, or students can see what we have available for those in-person drop-in hours where they don't need an appointment and what they can do for online tutoring. So they can click either of those links to get access to tutors. Also use Accudemia to track our supplemental instruction sessions. We have 3 rooms in our library that we use for supplemental instruction, and they all have a kiosk in the room so students can sign in and out using those kiosks. And again, that's for sharing information with faculty, and our chemistry instructors give extra credit for students taking advantage of our supplemental instruction program. I mentioned the reporting that, faculty can access the reports, but students also love that they can access their own reports now as well. When they're really putting in the work and spending a lot of time in our space, they like to be able to pull that report and show their instructors all the hard work that they're doing outside of the classroom. We use it for in-house assessment reports. I look at data trends on what are our busiest or peak hours, what subjects are students seeking the most help with, and that helps me with hiring and scheduling from semester to semester. And then we are able to pull information very quickly to make infographics or to plead our case, if you will, for our budget proposals every year to show that we are a valuable asset to campus and students are using these services. New this semester, based on the talk that was, I think, 2 weeks ago when Nick shared how to do surveys, that's something we're actually going to implement now this semester for our end of semester survey. And I'm looking forward to tracking that information and finding out how students are using us and what they find most valuable, and also what they might like to see done differently in future semesters. And we're helping our campus branch out and use Accudemia. I've been in about 3 meetings in the last couple months because we have some new offices on campus that have also started using Accudemia because they like what it does for our area. So it's now being used in our Black and Latino Student Excellence Center, which just opened this semester. And our Health Science campus uses Accudemia to track their review sessions. So we are branching out and going to be using it all over campus. Do you all have any questions for me?
Thank you, Julie. While we wait for any questions from our audience to come in, I'd be curious to know a little bit more about the survey that you're planning on sending out. And is this going to be your first time surveying students, or just your first time doing it in academia?
First time doing it in Accudemia. We have Qualtrics on campus, and that's what we've done before. So we would create the Qualtrics survey, email out the link, and then it was all housed right there, and you only accessed it if you logged back in. I like the idea that it will all be housed in Accudemia, and I can pull a report from that survey just as easily as I can pull an attendance tracking report or anything else that we use within the platform.
Are you going to be using the same questions that you used with Qualtrics, or are you going to be modifying them at all?
We're going to modify them a little bit because our surveys become a little stagnant, and we're kind of getting the same responses every year, and it's not really affecting any change anymore. So we want to target our questions and be a little more specific on what we want to know so we can move forward. We're switching budget models to an RSM model. So we need some better data so we can prove our case.
Well, I hope that you're able to get that. Yeah, it's always the question of how do we force students, or how do we not force, how do we get students to participate in these kinds of initiatives? And I know that in academia, technically, you can force students to make to take a survey, but there's often ways around it, or you have to know your students, and hopefully you can get the data that you need.